The city welcomes 2 new firefighters, raising awareness about athletes and mental health issues, what's new at the Historical Society, plus much more on Life in the Park.
Welcome to this week's edition of Life in the Park. I'm Mary Schreier. In this week's cover story, Scott Smith checked in with the St. Louis Park Historical Society's Gene Anderson to see what's new. That's coming up. Now here's the latest news and events in the park. The City of St. Louis Park welcomed 2 new full-time firefighters on February 8th, Billy Breckel and Eric Schmidt. Billy is a St. Louis Park resident and has been paid on-call firefighter in the St. Louis Park Fire Department for 10 years. Eric started as a volunteer firefighter and in 2005 began working as a full-time firefighter for the Bismarck Fire Department. Chief Steve Coring welcomed the new firefighters to their ranks.
First, I'd like to have him stand Eric Schmidt and William Billy Breckel. If you guys just want to come stand up here. Your badge, which will be presented to you, it's important that you understand that this badge is your permanent badge. This badge and its number, whatever your badge numbers are yours alone. And throughout the career here, whatever the legacy, that number will be tied to you.
The duties of the Office of Firefighter of the City of St. Louis Park in the County of Hennepin and State of Minnesota to the best of my judgment and ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
St. Louis Park State Representative Cheryl Joachim has announced several opportunities for community members to talk to her face-to-face about legislative priorities. The St. Louis Park Library will host the next community conversation with Joachim Saturday, February 20th from 10 to 11:30 a.m. Also coming up, a Senate District 46 Town Hall meeting with State Senator Ron Latz, State Representative Peggy Flanagan, and State Representative Cheryl Joachim is planned for Tuesday, February 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. at St. Louis Park City Hall. The West Metro Home Remodeling Fair is still looking for entries in the Operation Rescue Room contest as part of the Home Remodeling Fair events on February 21st. Anyone who thinks they might have a room in their home in need of serious rescuing is encouraged to submit their entry now. Contest details can be found on their colorful new website, homeremodelingfair.com. Click on Operation Rescue Room for your chance to win $1,000 toward your room makeover. Then, mark your calendar for the free West Metro Home Remodeling Fair, February 21st at the Hopkins Eisenhower Community Center in Hopkins. The City of St. Louis Park and the Twin West Chamber of Commerce present the 2016 State of the City on Monday, February 29th, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. at Steel Toe Brewing. That's 4848 West 35th Street in St. Louis Park. The presentation from Mayor Jake Spano will take place from 5 to 6 p.m. Anyone with an interest in hearing more about St. Louis Park's direction for 2016 is invited to attend. Light refreshments will be available, and attendees may also purchase Steel Toe's craft beers. Later that evening, there will be a special City Council meeting at 7:30 p.m. in Council Chambers at City Hall. The public hearing includes the 2016 Pavement Management Program, the Connect the Park construction project as well. Again, all interested parties are welcome to attend. Hey ice skaters, it's your last chance to enjoy free hot cocoa all day on Monday, February 15th at Birchwood Park. That's 2700 Zarthan Avenue South at our last cocoa and skating of the season. All city warming houses are scheduled to close for the season on February 21st. If the weather warms up, they may have to close earlier. Maggie's Farm Theater is pleased to present live on Maggie's Stage an evening of acoustic music on February 12th at 7 p.m. with Grammy-winning guitarist Pat Donahue. Pat is one of the most listened to fingerpickers in the world. Having been a songwriter and guitarist for 20 years for the Guys All-Star Shoe Band of Minnesota Public Radio's A Prairie Home Companion, Pat got to show off his savvy licks and distinctive original songs to millions of listeners each week. Pat now has a full concert tour schedule nationwide, conducts guitar workshops, and teaches at popular music camps. Donahue will take the Little Theater stage at the Lennox Center on February 12th at 7 p.m. Tickets are still available online only at brownpapertickets.com. Also, the inaugural play reading series will be hosted by Maggie's Farm Theater, providing professional insight into each play, reading tips, and a fun, relaxed atmosphere. Each session will include a group reading of a pre-selected play script, a discussion of insights and reactions to the play, and information about the playwright at the St. Louis Park Library. Sponsored by the Friends of the St. Louis Park Library. No fee or registration is required, and more information is available at maggiesfarmtheater.com/script-reading.html. Well, the City of St. Louis Park has many employment opportunities and internships available now, as well as upcoming seasonal positions. Choose from opportunities such as Solid Waste Program Specialist, Property Maintenance Inspector, Controller, Recreation Intern, and Part-Time Dance Instructor. This spring and summer, an activity specialist for preschool playground instructor, facility attendant at the splash pad, and a playground leader are also available. To explore the complete position descriptions and apply online, simply go to slpmn.us/jobs. Also coming up, Break the Stigma, raising awareness about athletes and mental health. Everyone is welcome to attend this free community event for athletes, friends, and family to learn more about signs and symptoms of eating disorders, training for performance, when healthy becomes unhealthy, and how to support others in recovery. Sponsored by Break the Stigma, Mill City Running, and Melrose Center. The event is Thursday, February 18th, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Melrose Center, 3525 Monterey Drive, St. Louis Park. Register at eventbrite.com/e/break-the-stigma-tickets or call 952-993-6555. In this week's cover story, Scott Smith met with St. Louis Park Historical Society trustee Gene Anderson at their new location across from the Central Community Center in the park. Many changes have occurred the past year, with more coming in 2016. After all, history is made every day.
Well, Gene, thank you for taking some time to talk with us on Life in the Park. It's been a busy year for the Historical Society this past year. Can you give us some of the highlights of what transpired in 2015?
Well, it was a busy year. We have continued our main goal of community service through the collection, preservation, and sharing of the history of St. Louis Park, but we continue to do it better. And one of the big reasons is we have a fabulous new president who took office about a year ago, and his Ted Eckers, and he's full of great ideas, and he's been putting together programs and projects and things, and he's redesigned the website, and he's just been really dynamic, and we're really pleased that he's come on board. Yeah, he's been great. We have had a lot of projects last year. We had a fundraiser, an antique appraisal fundraiser, where we hired some appraisers to come in and look at approximately 100 different antiques that people brought in. And that was fun because not only did they get an idea of how much their antiques were worth, but we got to hear the stories behind how they came to own them, and that was the fun part, actually. So, and that was a fundraiser, and was heavily subsidized and sponsored by Discover St. Louis Park. So we are very grateful for them, and all of the refreshments were donated by local businesses.
Okay. I just know I used to hit that thing after I finished a beer in college. You're wonderful. Look at the patina on that.
It's a drinking game.
The gong show.
Oh, no.
Okay, did anybody bring in an item that they bought at a garage sale for 50 cents and found out it was worth $1 million?
No, I think the highest thing was maybe 3,000 or something like that. There was a screen or something like that. But there was things that people bought for 50 cents and turned out to be worth 50 cents. But
Like you said, it was the stories.
Yeah, it was the stories. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was the story. Then we had another fundraiser where the city is replacing its street signs with reflective street signs, and instead of just sending them to the recycle facility, we asked them if we could have them to sell, which is an idea we stole from Golden Valley, and it turned out to be fabulously popular, and we've sold tons and tons of signs and made some great money that helped pay the rent. And we still have some left, so if you want to go on our website, it's slphistory.org, and look at our inventory, you can make a reservation for a sign there, and we'll sell one to you.
What's on tap for 2016? It's I mean, the 2015 was obviously a very big year, and the Antiques Parade I thought was a great idea. You know, if you can get that to happen again or something along those lines, that'd be great. But what else was happening coming up in the next year?
Well, our next fundraiser is going to be the sale of Echowans, our student yearbook. We had a lot of extra copies stored away in the depot, and the high school had a bunch of extra copies, and they have given 5 or 6 boxes of them to us to sell as a fundraiser. Another thing we got last year at the end of the year was a $10,000 grant for a microfilm reader, scanner, printer, and that was from a legacy grant, and we were very excited about that. And we also got a grant for some 37 rolls of microfilm. So we have all of our copies of the St. Louis Park Dispatch, either in hard copy or on microfilm now. And we're hoping to apply for another grant to fill out our collection with the Sun, the Sailor, and the Sun Sailor. And they can either save articles to a flash drive for free, or they can make copies for 10 cents a piece. Read the hard copy papers, or look at our photographs, or look at our aerials, or any of our resources. And
oh, what fun. Well, I know even like going on your website, I'm doing a research on a certain piece, and I'll come across something else and go, I didn't know that. And then to use your term, you go down the rabbit hole, and you go, before you know it, hours have passed, and you're like, wow, this is just so fascinating, and it's free. It's just so much fun.
Our highest priority right now is to find a permanent place, because this is a great office that we're in now, but it has its problems, and one of them is that it's on the second floor with no elevator, and when you're trying to haul your books and things up and down the stairs, it's a little dicey. But we need a bigger place where we can display our artifacts, which are mostly stored away in the depot. And we need more room for more stuff that the city is prepared to give us. We have tax records and photographs of every house in St. Louis Park that existed in 1960 that we are not able to share with the public, just because we don't have any place to put them. Yeah, so our goal is to provide as much information and help to people as possible, and having a permanent place is the answer to that. We just need to identify a place and then really go for a capital campaign to pay for it. So I'm optimistic that we're going to do it, and we're just excited about it continuing to expand and continuing to serve the community.
Okay, Jean, thanks so much for taking some time to talk with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Be sure to check out the Historical Society website and consider joining as a member by going to slphistory.org. Well, remember, you can keep up to date in the park by visiting our Facebook page at facebook.com/St. Louis Park, or you can check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/St. Louis Park. That's it for this week's edition of Life in the Park. Thank you for watching. Join us next week for another edition of Life in the Park right here on Park TV.
Although the snow will be melting outside, it will still be cool inside for the St. Louis Park Skate School at the Rec Center. We have classes for ages 3 through adults for skaters of all abilities. Join us for one of our popular class offerings, including our new synchro and ice dance skills, adult hockey skills, or parent-child talk class, during our spring session starting April 4th through May 22nd. Registration will open in early March, and deadline to register will be 2 weeks prior to the first day of the session. For more information, please email us at skate@stlouispark.org.